Welcome to Reality and Chill with Nishi
And Kenny, it's Next Gen Season 1, Episode 6.
Yep.
Our favourite.
I know, you know what? It is our favourite. So much happened on the Valley this week that I thought, Next Gen might be just, I don't know, it can't bring it as much. But you know what? It still brought stuff. I'm just impressed. Episode by episode. I'm so enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying the development of characters or cast members. Us seeing different facets of their personality. And yeah, it was great to see Kim as well this episode.
No, my highlight of the show. Um, yes, actually, let's talk about Kim. We might as well start with Kim. Something fun.
Okay, great.
Kim Zolciak has entered the chat. That's what I wrote down. I was like, I love her. She looks really different. You can tell that she's all like dolled up. She looks like a Barbie doll, literally.
I was like, she's looked so skinny, and I didn't know if it was the stress of her divorce,
I
but
think
it was really interesting. Like her and Ariana sort of walking down the street, and she just looked a lot like unhealthy. Ariana healthy, like it was this really interesting position to have the two of them walking down the street. But she's still Kim. She's still ballsy. She's still a lot of fun. Um, yeah, I really enjoyed her joining the girls.
absolutely. I was like hanging for it this whole season because, like I said, I was starting to rewatch Atlanta from the beginning. I've only watched season one
Yeah.
and two again, but she's just the highlight there. And I just think you can see straight away she's just so good on reality TV. She just says it how she is, how it is. She's eating the crackers with the cheese, and she just like does not care. But yeah, I
Yeah.
how thin she was. I was like, yeah, that definitely looks like a stress type.
That's what I thought as well. I was like, that doesn't look like a Zempic to me. That literally looks like a divorce stress, like financial stress. And my heart went out to her, to show the truth. I was just like, oh, poor woman. Just like, regardless of choices and stuff, I'm still going to feel for a woman of her age going through a divorce and kind of having to start again. Like it's tough roads ahead, I think, for Kim.
Absolutely, no, 100% agree with you. But I did like seeing the relationship between Ariana and Kim. Like she calls her best friend, and they have that sort of tight knit bond. And Kim's always like very similar to Teresa. Always been so close to her girls. Like has been really good mum in that sense. So you can just see that dynamic has continued on into as the girls have gotten older.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because I'm still, I'm in two minds about your parents being your best friend as opposed to being your parents, and just like clear boundaries. It's just very, like it is what it is. And I can see that Ariana's thrived. That's great. Let's see how the other kids kind of pull out of it. Because it would have been a pretty chaotic childhood. So,
That's no, very true. And yeah, it was probably a bit too much that she treated him like a best friend.
do you know what
Um,
yeah, go ahead.
no, no, go on.
Well, do you know what I picked up, which I think was so telling? So when you looked at Candy talking to the girls, and then when you looked to Kim talking to the girls, like Candy didn't mention Kim. She clearly is over it. She doesn't want a crossover. I think Kim, deep down inside, really wants. She was like, "Well, imagine what your mum would say." And she was a couple of times she mentioned Candy, and um, yeah. So, and then I was listening to a podcast, and it's what happens live. Is that the name of it again? What happens live?
What happens live? Yeah.
Yeah, so we haven't seen it yet in Australia, but apparently it's an episode with the girls or whatever, and they were saying how that they want to organize a parent trap for the parents, which just sounds so cool. I would love that. That gave me a lot of joy, but I can just see Candy not wanting to have a bar of it, and I can see Kim kind of reaching for that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting that also Candy sued Kim. I didn't know that prior for the, tardy for the party track.
Neither did I. Neither
Mm.
did I. That was actually new to me. Like I knew that they were a bit like they'd gone through the thing with the track, but I didn't know that it actually went to court because I remember they always play the flashbacks where they go, yeah, she didn't give Candy any money or whatever, so she's actually taken it to court now. Sorry, my mic. I don't know.
Because Candy is first and foremost a businesswoman. And it's interesting because I think most like multi-millionaires, given where Kim was at that point in time, would have just like let it go.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I find it weird. Like, I don't know, at that time, I think it's sad that the friendship fell out. I think it's on both their faults, if you know what I mean. Like, why did Kendi really need the extra cash anyway? You know what I mean? So obviously she never thought it was going to become a success. It was more a throwaway thing to, have fun with Kim, and then just let her have the success. You're already so rich. Yeah.
I think she would have obviously been like, it's principle, and
That's what I mean. Yeah, it is. That's exactly what it was.
I am having some mic issues. Give me a second. Should we pause a sec? Give me one sec.
Okay, yeah, let's pause.
Oh,
I love it.
sorry, technical
Well, I love a
difficulties.
little swap sides, Maybe I'll come back out and come back in. It's like we're dancing here, Nish.
One thing we are good at is just going with the
Oh,
flow.
100%.
It's our strength. But yeah, Candy and oh my gosh, that would be so funny seeing the Parent Trap. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I know. So
Can you imagine?
watch what happens live. Australia should get it, next week or whatever, and we can have a bit of a laugh about that. So yeah.
Yeah, interesting. I think, you know what, Kim's actually quite a forgiving person. I think she will be fine with Candy as much as she says, oh no. I don't know. I
Oh,
think she
she
might.
definitely wants to. Like, I could read through that. She's sort of saying that,
Yeah.
but like her energy was like she's all for it. And I think as well, given that she's now divorced, like she would be like sort of reaching to what opportunities are available, right? So whereas Candy being in a really solid space in her life is not going to want to have a bar of it just because of the drama and everything else that Kim brings with her, which is sad because we would love to see it as an audience, but
Right. Watch this space. No, but I loved seeing her. She was like the only mum that we hadn't seen just yet. So they save it. They plan it out, don't they?
yeah.
Because first it was Meredith, Teresa.
This
Yeah.
is it. No, it's great. They've here's another thing I heard. So with the next gen NYC, you know how we've talked about how great it is. They're doing an LA one as well. So I think they put extra time in getting New York because this is so good. Like it really is. And just the way they've edited it, the way they've like introduced it's just really nailed it. And I was thinking, yeah, like they've done such a good job, but it would make sense if it's actually the beginning of like a whole bunch of franchises. And the next one they're currently casting for it now is LA. Amazing. Could you imagine?
No, inside scoop. Where did you hear
Oh,
that?
like, yeah,
Okay, cool.
one of the podcasts I was listening to. So yeah, they are casting, like it's happening. It's not like it's not like word on the streets. It's like they're in process of getting it off the ground. So and then you're going to have this difference, like you have that generational wealth, the type of kids you have maybe in New York. We've got that good combo, but in LA, you can imagine it's all going to be like Hollywood, kids of Hollywood stars. It's just going to be a bit of a different vibe. It'll be amazing, I think,
Right.
to see the two of
I
them
think so as
together.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the contrast.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, definitely with the NYC, it's like they're a bit more somewhat grungy, a bit rough around the edges, whereas in Beverly Hills, they're always a bit more polished
Yeah.
but bitchy,
Yeah,
like
that's
catty,
right.
a bit more catty.
You can see them,
So,
they're like pale, they've partied too hard, like some of those kind of New York kids. Whereas LA, it's going to be more plastic fantastic,
yeah,
bronze, fake tanner. Like,
bronzy.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fashion will
yeah.
be completely different. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have the model scene where
Yeah.
they got the supermodel scene and the fashion
Yeah,
scene.
that's
You're right.
right.
Oh my gosh, how
I
excited.
know.
Cool little nugget that you've dropped.
Should we talk about
So
Ava next? So we'll sort of build up to it because, now we've just talked about that and that different scenes or, models and whatnot. I just think I was deeply disappointed in her thinking she's above it all. Like you can already tell, like it's just reality TV is just below me, is her vibe. Like she's cooler than everything. And so, even though she lied to Brooks and said she was packing a bag, I don't think she had any intentions of going. That was my vibe about her.
I agree. Yeah, she clearly didn't want to go. She was planting the seed. And like you said, she was like, oh, I've got this modeling thing, which, all right, fair enough. They will have work or whatever. But yeah, she was definitely like, my team said it's really important for me to go. And more important than reality TV. I
Yeah.
don't know. And you could see Charlie just wanting to like have her because he needs someone to have an alliance with,
Desperately right now. He actually does need a friend right now. Like everybody is so piling up on him. And I actually felt for Charlie for this
so did
episode.
So did I. I was like, sure. I knew she wasn't going to come because she's like, oh, as if I'm going to drive 6 hours, da 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 da. He was like, please just come because I need someone. He clearly has a crush on her. Like, I knew that he did, but like, geez, he does not hide it at all, does
No,
he? Like,
no. I think he's just a womanizer though. I think like any skirt, and particularly one that he can't conquer,
get.
right? So that's just
Mm,
his style. It's yeah, he's
true.
but yeah, just on like the pile-on of Charlie, I think we kind of I've listened to some podcasts that have just been really anti him. I haven't heard anybody have the take we had, which was we thought Georgia had sort of not behaved pretty badly when it came to the speaker thing. Like everybody else thinks it's a really petty thing for him to have cracked on. And yeah, our take's quite different in the fact that why does it matter if you've like borrowed something from a friend and they've requested it back just to behave nicely. But at least this time around, we understand it was 6 days later that he got the speaker back.
Mm, yeah.
And some of the takes were that he was acting just so obsessively, and it was a little bit of a control thing, like texting nonstop for it. But then still, there's still no reason to behave like Georgia did, in my point of view. It was just poking the bear.
Yeah, I felt like it
Mm.
really poked the bear. I'm like big on that. It's like, hold on. It doesn't excuse his behavior, but it kind of explains why he had people over for whatever reason. And I think people just don't take him as seriously because he doesn't have a full-time job. She's just like, I'm working, I'm doing event stuff. Like, I don't need to hear about your speaker right now. So her, time is more important type thing. And he's like, and also another thing is it's like, oh, you just need a speaker because you're entertaining friends and
And so it's my
partying.
speaker. And if that's what I do with my life, then that's what I do with my life. Give my speaker back. Like, do you know what it is? I feel like it's so obvious how to take him down, right? Because he's got so many flaws in his character, Charlie. And Charlie is
Mm.
not going to sway a certain way to win people over. He's more likely to be more aggressive, more, he's going to really amp it up and be offensive. So that's kind of like they know that. And it's even like back to that episode where I feel like Georgia sort of teased out the fact that, yeah, no, I didn't care about that apology. You know what I mean? I feel like Georgia has known how to push his buttons with that apology for Riley. Remember how I said I think that Georgia, yeah.
Oh,
So even
yeah,
back
yeah, yeah.
then, I just feel like he's so easy to win the popular vote. And I feel like that's what Georgia is doing. But I feel like it's going to not work in her favor because as we can see this episode, people are saying, hang on, you used to be really close friends. Like, why all of a sudden? Like, yeah.
It doesn't add up. Like, okay, yes, everyone has had their own beef with him. Fair enough. But she is literally, like you said, piling on and using that to gang up against him. She wants the tide to be completely against him.
Yeah.
And she wants that control to say, no, no one is going to be friends with him. And look, the way he talked to her was so not on. It was really disrespectful. The things that he said, I mean, we know that, right? But even the way she's going about it now, it's not about her and him. It's about just getting everyone against him. And you can see at that dinner, as soon as people are backing, supposedly not, it wasn't even Ariana backing him up. It was Ariana saying, hey, just get in the photo. He's sitting there by himself. That triggered her. And she's just like, well, hold on a minute. Why is anyone being nice to him? If I don't like him, I don't want anyone to be. And it's like, well, he's come on this trip and obviously, like, he's not getting along with anyone. Like, you're not just going to isolate someone. That's very mean girl.
And you know how they get paid per episode? I just think he's a bit tight for cash at the moment. I think his dad might be, you've seen that maybe he's been overspending, at behaving pretty erratically. So I think him appearing, he kind of has to for the cash that you're going to get from each
Uh,
episode is what I've been thinking as well. Like why he hasn't pulled the plug. But with Georgia, she's known Charlie for years and he would have been behaving like this the whole time she's known him. So why is it now suddenly? Like it makes more sense for Ariana or Riley or people that are more new into his life to be deeply offended and to have a really clear boundary up. But Georgia, you've been his close friend for a number of years. Like, hang on, you would have seen him blow up so many times to so many people in the past. Like, this is who he is. So, yeah, I think it's saying a lot about Georgia, her loyalty. And I'm going to go back to the fact that I think they've slept together in the past and she holds some resentment. That's what I think is bringing that behavior in. Yeah.
I think also now she has a boyfriend though that's also in the mix. So I don't know if that's sort of playing into it as well. Like I don't know if he's saying stuff on the side. Obviously, he wouldn't be liking the fact that his girlfriend's being disrespected. I don't know. I just she might not put up with his behavior as much as well if
Yeah.
she's got a boyfriend now. I don't know, but you're right. It's yeah. I don't know, the nasty side of her is coming out. I can understand that her being upset about it, but I just don't like her wanting the entire group to gang up
Well, it's
against
because
him.
she's truly angry, right? There's a deep anger. It's not just about the one argument. Otherwise, you try and patch it up. So I mean, I know it's allegedly. I'm calling that out. That I think that's a possible scenario, but I also think maybe that's what threw Georgia into the arms of this guy as well. I know I'm going way off track with it, outside of the lines of any storyline that's actually in New York Next Gen, but they are opposites. It's and maybe they're working out now, but I can never imagine them like getting together and just instantly kind of having an attraction. Girls sometimes scorned can behave a certain way, and then suddenly that guy's in your life, and what do you know? Let's make a go of it. He's definitely into
Mm,
her more than she is into him.
yes. Are you talking about the boyfriend? I thought you
Yeah.
were talking about Charlie for a
Oh,
second.
right.
Yeah, the boyfriend.
Yeah. No, I'm sort of
Yeah, yeah,
saying
yeah.
that. Yeah. Well, anyway, we'll could sort of carry on. We'll see how that pans out.
No, I hear you on that. Yeah. It's a very interesting dynamic. You just cannot see I can't see them together at all. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah. Look, and yeah. Even Charlie, like saying, putting it out there that he likes Ariana, you can see Hudson getting a little bit funny about that now, which you can understand. He's so like, Charlie is just like that. Hey, like you said, he just likes any girl, womanizer, has to put it out there. So disrespectful when he knows that she's got a partner. Um,
Charlie behaves like a dick, but he's just been consistently a dick. I like that for Hudson and Ariana, they're calling it out, and for them, they're putting in boundaries. Georgia, you've been his friends for years and years and years, so please give me a break. But yeah, Hudson, how cool is he? I mean, it's so funny about his diamond jewelry and everything. Yeah, I've liked him from day dot. Like, just Ariana and Hudson as a couple is great. I just hope he doesn't get jealous, because he shouldn't take Charlie seriously. Charlie does this to every girl. It's not actually targeted at Ariana. It's more about his own personality and that he's a disrespectful person. And call that out, but don't like play it back on Ariana for any reason whatsoever.
yeah, no. And they seem to have such a beautiful, tight relationship. I saw someone write, I can't remember who wrote it, maybe Queens of Bravo on Instagram, said, "Can we just recognize that Hudson is so humble? Apparently, his family are like billionaires."
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they were that rich, and you just don't really hear about it on the show
Well,
that
this is
much.
it.
Like,
What do they say? Wealth whispers, and
mm,
so you can see. But mind you, with all that diamond jewelry and stuff, that was kind of not whispering much. But he's not an arrogant.
he didn't
Yeah,
talk about it.
yeah,
I feel like that's just him liking certain things. Like everyone,
yeah,
has certain things that they passion, hobbies, whatever, collecting something. That's just his thing.
yeah.
But he doesn't go around talking about it. Um,
What do you think the
yeah,
future is for Hudson and Kim? Like, I feel like that is going to be a conflict, obviously, in the relationship at some point.
absolutely.
Yeah,
It's gonna be like for now, they have no real commitment in the sense like they're not engaged for or once they start that process of getting engaged and married and stuff like that, buying houses, all of that sort of stuff, and their finances are a little bit more intertwined, it's definitely going to change the dynamic if there are no boundaries or there's no open conversation about giving money to Kim. It's going to be interesting because it's like if Ariana makes her own money, you know, she's can give her mum how much she wants in a way, but then they've got their new commitment. So I don't know. It's going to definitely be interesting.
I imagine somebody like that's that wealthy, they wouldn't get married for a long time as well. It's probably been drilled into them as young children. Whereas you could see with Brooks putting that engagement ring on the calendar, like a really different angle. I mean, he's been with his partner, what, 1 year? So,
I know.
yeah,
I know, and he's so young. He's 24 turning 25.
yeah.
It just shocks me. I didn't it always surprises me.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think with, Seth and Meredith, and Chloe. And they, yeah, like that. Obviously, that really positive family unit. He just really wants to have his own family. Like it's really sweet. I think. Yeah.
It's so cute. Brooks is so funny. Like I know we have his birthday weekend or whatever they're celebrating, but he's just his little side like lines are just hilarious.
Yeah.
He's so what did he do? He packed like this fly swatter for he's like, I don't know if there's gonna be flies. I'm taking a
Yeah.
fly swatter. I was dying. And then when he got there, he's like, are there sharks in the ocean? Like
He had a
he is
shark
just
tracker.
hilarious. Yeah, and with a shark tracker on his phone. I'm like, he's so quirky. This is
Yeah.
why I love him.
Yeah, I really dig it because, like I say, he's got a broad range of relationships. Like he can connect with a really broad style of people, which is an amazing skill. And that's what makes him so incredible. And just the whole Geordie Shore, what do they call it? Geordie Shore? No, Jersey
Jersey
Shore.
Shore. Jersey Shore.
Yeah, with Gia, like it was so fun to see the Jersey Shore being introduced and stuff, but that he's all for
So
that. Yeah,
awesome.
let's go to the Jersey Shore for my birthday. You know, like that's so cool. I love that he did that.
Yeah, he's really open to it, hey?
Yeah,
Like,
he's not a snob at all. Whereas you could see for the others, like for Ava or and Charlie and Amira for some element, it's like whoa. Well, for Amira, she's just never considered going there. Has never really been invited. Um, but yeah, it was really fun to see the different reactions. And this is why I
oh my
love
gosh.
Gia being included in the cast. This gives us color, it gives us these differences, and we get to see like, yeah, these Nepo babies respond to something like a New Jersey kind of
I
common summer space with beautiful beaches and just, like really normal
family
right.
fun.
There's just no big deal about it. But that snobbery coming through is hilarious.
Oh my gosh, I was actually shocked to see how like full on it was because these guys are young, right? So you think, oh, do they care about that stuff? But yeah, they're partying and going to like the Hamptons and wherever, the south of France during summer. They're just not going to the Jersey Shore like our friends in New Jersey who all have their like
Yeah.
houses there. It was so funny to watch, but they all sort of somewhat warmed to it. Like Charlie was sitting down, remember on
Yeah.
the
Well, how
the boardwalk
beautiful
and
was
going,
it to
oh,
have like that amazing house right on the beach? Like, please. Yeah, no, that's incredible. Yeah, it looked really lovely.
yeah, and he's like, "Oh, it's not that crap or whatever." I was like,
Mm,
"No, it was nice. I love it. You're so right." Gia brings that to the show,
yeah,
and we need that.
yeah, exactly.
It breaks it up a little bit. So no, loved that. What else happened? Um, the only other thing I had was really Georgia sort of going off, but
Well, I mean, we should talk about that fight because that, like, the crescendo, I suppose, of that fight was just so silly. And like just the commitment that, hey, let's just give this one night to Brooks. Like, we can sort of discuss problems the following night. And that, yeah, it just couldn't, it's like let the mouse go type of thing. It was just seemed so silly and really unnecessary. So it was a bit annoying, actually. But I thought Ariana, again, she's just showing how cool she is. She can just keep things moving. And Georgia, just like I said, there's a real deep resentment there.
mm,
And I don't like
I don't like it either. But I think they all poke him a lot, right? This guy, he didn't want to come. Dylan, he knew Dylan was going to flake. He flaked. Ava was barely coming. She didn't end up coming. And then even in the car on the way, Gia was bringing it up, like, "Oh, do you just want everyone to hate you or whatever?" And he's just like, "Leave me alone. I'm trying to stay in my peace. I just want to have a peaceful weekend. I don't want to ruin it for Brooks or whatever reason." But he was just genuinely trying to keep to himself. But they just sort of
we're
all come
poking,
in like
yeah.
they were
Well,
poking,
it's
like
just
Gia
Georgia,
started off.
Gia. Like, who were the pokers, really?
It was Georgia, Gia, and then even Amira was trying to fix it, but then she's like, "Oh, go! Why don't you, Georgia? Why don't you go speak to him about it?" I'm like, nothing good's gonna come of that at the start of the night, and then it just went off from there. Like then Georgia just couldn't accept his apology. This was the other thing. So I liked that he at least apologized, and maybe he will apologize just to move things along,
Yeah.
right? But at least for that night, he goes, "Hey, sorry about the fight. Like, I apologize." Da, da, da. She wasn't willing to accept the apology. She goes, "Nah, you're dead to me, essentially. What we said was irreversible." And it's like, at least I get that you're upset and you don't have to forgive him straight away, but at least for that night, can't you say, look, accept your apology, I'm just not ready to move on, it'll just take me a bit of time, or something like that, just to keep things
To not be
moving for the night.
selfish. To not be selfish. Yeah.
But do not be selfish, it's Brooke's birthday, for that night at least, let's just
Yeah.
keep it going, or for the weekend.
Or just
You
say,
don't have
look,
to become
yeah, just say, look,
weekend.
I'm not ready to talk right now. Like, I appreciate you trying to make things right. I probably just need some more time.
Yeah, because this guy, for him to apologize, somebody so arrogant to apologize can't be that easy either, right? That's
Yeah.
the way I see it. I don't know. So he's actually throwing her a bone here and saying, look, okay, I shouldn't have done it. I talked out of turn. What is he supposed to say after that? I wouldn't want to go back if that was the case. If everyone was not talking to me, I'm on this holiday where I've got no mates back in my corner. I've just apologized and it's been thrown in my face. I don't think I would want to stay either,
Yeah.
in his defense.
Yeah, I agree.
What's he going to do?
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm just ready to go home at this point. And I'm like, I kind of don't blame him. And I think that's when the girls started backing him up a bit more, like Gia and Ariana, and being like, all right, like, let's just
And
make it
Riley as
civil.
well, I feel like will sort of step in. She was a bit anti initially, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. But I don't know. As mean as he is, I just, for some reason, like you said,
Look, it just annoys me. Again, it's hypocrisy, right? Because George has known him for so long. Like, why is that behavior now so offensive? Because he's doing it to trigger, like he's doing it to be edgy. It's rude, it's obnoxious, but it's not. I don't think it's mean spirited.
no, I don't think so either.
What did you think about the Amira and the food? And like shopping and stuff. Like, it's just so funny because like New York, nobody goes shopping. It's much easier to order in.
Oh, the
Amazing.
grocery.
Oh my God, a
Like,
grocery store.
I don't think I've ever been to a grocery store and and Georgia like calculating it would have been $400. We could have split it. Like, why am I sitting here scanning my items?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's New York, and probably I was gonna say it's the new generation. It's probably more New York, isn't it? The more
Yeah. It's,
convenience.
it's, yeah, it's just New York. It's just how they live there. Yeah. It's really different.
I thought that was hilarious. I was like, wow, this is the new reality as well. So,
Yeah.
look, I order my groceries.
Yeah.
I
Fair
love
enough.
it. I do a bit of both.
Yeah.
And then what was the other thing you said? Groceries and
Well, just a
there's
mirror
something
with
else.
her eating
Oh,
and stuff,
Amira.
and like, yeah, just let it
Look,
be. She doesn't like seafood. There's lots of people that don't like seafood. Just let it
do
be.
you,
It was a bit of a
I know
hassle,
I knew so many people. I know so many people that don't eat
Yeah.
seafood. And it's a thing. Not everyone likes it. And I thought she kind of dealt with it in her own way instead of, hey, don't worry about me. I'll organize my own food. Like, she didn't make a big deal
Not at
about it. She
all.
was like,
Yeah.
you guys, eat, you do you, and
And
I'll do
now she's
me.
like,
And then
hey, just leave me alone. I haven't eaten all day. I'm hungry. Yeah.
yeah, and then Georgia making the Ozempic comment, like the Ozempic's worn off. I was like, nah,
Didn't she say,
nasty.
I didn't think it was a Zempic. I thought it was I thought she said like a sleeper had worn off. Right. So I misheard that. I thought she'd sort of
No,
said
it's Ozempic.
what, I thought it was like a sleeper medication. So I was like, that's rude, but it didn't make sense. But it makes so much more sense if it's Ozempic. Yeah, rude.
Yeah, she goes,
Just
oh,
rude. Yeah.
you're like uncalled for.
Yeah, I
She's
agree.
becoming really mean.
Yeah, I agree. It's good that we're getting to see this side of Georgia. She needs to be taken down a notch or two. We'll see how it goes. Just taking my Uggs
Yeah.
off, hot flashed.
Getting on. Well, yeah, I feel like that is a wrap,
Things a
isn't it?
wrap as well. I look forward to next episode. It wasn't that much in it, so we'll wait and see what's to come. But yeah, great to see Kim.
Great to see you, Kim. All right, chat soon.